Welcome to the Connect Secure Administration and Maintenance e-learning course. In this session, we will review the purpose of user roles and how to configure user roles. This image displays the Access Management Framework. Before we can configure any sign-in policies, authentication realms, or resource policies, we must first design and configure roles. The role serves as a base for the rest of our configuration. It should be noted that when logging in for the first time, the default user role already exists. This will lead to role mapping. During the sign-in process, users are assigned one or more roles. A role is an entity that defines the following parameters: enabled access features, including web, file, application, telnet, and SSH, terminal services, network, meeting, and email. Links to available resources through a bookmarks page. Personalization settings, including user interface customization, and user session parameters, including session settings and options. Another component of a role is role restrictions, which define a set of conditions that must be met before the device assigns the role to a user. A user role is not a resource policy. You must understand the difference between a user role and a resource policy. A user role allows access to a particular type of service, but it does not guarantee access to any particular server providing that service. For example, a user role might be configured to allow web browsing, but a resource policy should allow the user to access a specific web server. Configuration example using Pulse Inc. We use Pulse Inc.'s user requirements to illustrate the role configuration process. Pulse Inc. has two groups of remote users: telecommuters and sales representatives. All employees of Pulse Inc. need access to the corporate intranet site, their home folders on the Windows file share, and the product database stored on a Unix file share. In addition, the sales department has a specific sales web portal and sales tools on the Windows server that only sales department members can access. One way to meet Pulse Inc.'s requirements would be to create two roles, employees and sales. Under each role, we configure bookmarks, also known as links, to all the resources each group must access. The problem with this option is that it does not scale well. What if you have 20 groups instead of 2? Do you want to repeat the configuration of the same bookmarks over and over again? A second option for meeting Pulse Inc.'s requirements also involves creating two roles, but it takes advantage of the ability of users to be assigned more than one role. If all employees, regardless of group, need access to certain services, why not create a role and apply it to all employees? A separate sales role will define access to just the sales resources. With this configuration, a telecommuter signs in and is assigned the employee role, while a salesperson signs in and is assigned both the employee and the sales role. Let's take a look at the configuration checklist. We must modify only two major areas to configure Pulse Secure Connect Secure to provide the access that Pulse Inc. requires. We must create two roles, sales and employees, and we must create role mapping rules so that the incoming user connections are assigned the correct roles. This example is oversimplified. In a production environment, you would typically use an external authentication server. When creating roles, role configuration consists of 4 basic steps: create the role, enable services, and define web bookmarks, and define file bookmarks. We will look at each of these steps in detail. When creating the role, perform the following steps to create a role. In the left menu, navigate to User Roles and click New User Role. Click New Role, then type the name and an optional description for the role. The role name typically describes the group or class of users that you want to have functionality, for example, sales or employees. However, naming the role by functionality, for example, web access or VPN tunneling, also makes sense. Regardless, you should use a consistent and logical naming convention. Next, you will then allow services. Scroll further down the same screen to enable access to different types of services. We discuss the session and user interface option later. For now, leave the setting at the default, enabled. To enable a type of service, click the checkbox next to the service. The list of services presented depend on the licenses you have enabled on your Pulse Secure Connect Secure. Click Save Changes to save your selection. Note that if you navigate away from this page without clicking Save Changes, your changes will be lost. Next, you will define the web bookmarks. After you save the role, the screen changes and several new tabs appear at the top of the screen. To create a web bookmark, click on the Web tab. The submenu on the main page changes accordingly. To define the web bookmarks, perform the following steps to create a web bookmark. Click New Bookmark. Enter a name and an optional description for the bookmark. Both the name and the description will appear on the user's bookmark page, so be both concise and descriptive. Enter the URL for the web page. The URL is in a standard format. You can also specify variables to provide personalization based on user attributes. The display options control how the web page appears. If you leave the first option unchecked, the web page opens in the same window as the bookmarks page, replacing it. Click Save Changes to save your work. If you want to create another bookmark, click Save and then New, and a new blank bookmark screen appears. To review additional web options, as listed on the screen, please review the Admin Guide. The next step is to define file bookmarks. From the main role window, select the Files tab. The submenu changes accordingly, allowing you to then select Windows bookmarks or Unix bookmarks. Perform the following steps to create a Windows bookmark. Click New Bookmark. Enter the server and share information. If the server is running and reachable, you can browse for the server. Enter the path information. You can use variables to provide access to personal or departmental folders based on user attributes. It should be noted that several variables are available through Pulse Secure Connect Secure. Two of the most common variables are user and username. If you are using Active Directory, these variables are not the same, nor are they interchangeable. The variable user includes the domain name along with the username, while username is the username alone. For all other authentication methods, user and username are effectively the same. File bookmarks can appear on the user's Pulse Secure Connect Secure homepage and under the browsing page or just on the browsing page. Click Save Changes to save your work. If you want to create another bookmark, Click Save, and then New, and a new blank bookmark screen will appear. Verifying role creation. You can verify that your roles are created in one of the following two ways. Use the drop-down menu to display a list of all created roles. If you click User Roles in the main menu without selecting a specific role name, it will display a summary screen listing all roles and the enabled services for each role. To view the details of a defined role, click on the role name. This concludes this e-learning video. For additional information, contact education@pulsesecure.net.